Hi guys, it's Cam. Today is the 23rd of August. And I wanna talk about something I very briefly alluded to, and it's something I'm gonna call like feminine insecurity. Um, and I don't know if this is something other people noticed when they were transitioning or thinking about transitioning or just being gender fluid or bigender or whatever. So what do I mean by that? Well, when I'm masculine identifying, when I'm feeling masculine, or prior to this, prior to like, June, um, I would see other men or masculine people who were objectively like more attractive than me or whatever, or at least had features that I didn't have, and not feel all that threatened. Um, I just wouldn't. Um, I would be able to perceive that somebody was more attractive than me, but I didn't care really, unless they were like kind of doing the same thing I was. I've got long hair and I've got kind of a very thin body type, but not in like a, featureless thin body type. So, if somebody was kind of like doing the same thing as me and doing it better, then maybe I'd be a little bit insecure, but even then, not a lot. And I think part of that was also because like, I'm going to be direct about this and say I'm a huge nerd, and I just didn't hang out with a lot of people. I kind of avoid people, who I perceive to be more attractive than me, so I hang out with a lot of other nerds or a lot of other people that are different. A lot of like I'll hang out at BDSM clubs or gay bars or goth clubs or places where people are attractive, but not in like a typical way. Like they're attractive in a different way, and I don't feel threatened by that or anything. But like even being around other guys that I perceive to be more attractive than me, I didn't really feel threatened by that, I guess, unless it was like explicitly in a dating context, like then sometimes, but not really. But the difference is, but then, okay, so like, but when I'm identifying feminine, when I'm feeling feminine, um, or when I'm dressing feminine or anything, and I see people that are more attractive than me, or people that are more feminine than me, or have features I don't have, and especially if they're trans women or non-binary people that were like assigned male at birth or anything like that, assigned masculine, sorry, assigned masculine at birth. Oh, oh, does that you know, I cannot handle it. I just feel so insecure and so anxious and so unattractive, and I just compare myself and I just feel terrible. And it's so bad. Like, and I don't understand it because it's not something I have when I'm feeling masculine or identifying masculine or earlier in my life. Like, it's not something I really felt all that much. But man, when I am feeling feminine or identifying feminine or dressing feminine, and again, especially other people who were like assigned masculine or are not cis women, essentially, boy, does that bother me. It's just I compare myself so much. And I feel terrible about it. I really, really do. Um, and it's so weird because it's not something I feel at all. Um, when I'm feeling masculine, but it is so something I feel when I'm feminine. And I don't it's so weird, because like I don't get it. And it's hard. And my mind immediately goes to this, and I've been thinking about it, and I feel like, what does this tell me about me? What does this tell me about me? Specifically, it tells me I'm way more insecure about being feminine than masculine. It tells me that I'm way more secure in my masculinity when I'm feeling masculine than I am in my femininity when I'm feeling feminine. That's kind of what it tells me. But why? What goes into that? What makes me more secure or less secure? And what aspects of that? And part of it is I feel like when I'm assigned masculine, when I'm feeling masculine, I don't care what other people look like because my appearance isn't part of my identity when I'm feeling masculine. You know, what I look like is just what I look like, and when I'm feeling masculine, masculinity is just not a thing. Like it's not something I think of. Like when I look in the mirror, get ready, I don't worry about how masculine I look. You know, when I'm feeling masculine, I don't. I don't worry about it. It's just I look the way I look, and people are gonna like it or not, and it is what it is. And more importantly, it's just not something I care about. You know, when I'm feeling masculine, things I care about a lot more are how much weight have I put on? How well am I doing in my hobbies? You know, what am I have I been practicing, you know, the sport I do? Have I been like to me like that's much more what I care about in terms of my masculinity, you know. It's like that's my physical appearance, especially my face, doesn't do anything. Like I don't care, you know. Arguably I should care more because I have like really badly maintained teeth and skin, and I should really put in more effort about that because I'm in a bad place. But like that aside, it's so weird. Whereas when I'm feeling feminine, what I look like is so much more my person, what I care about, and something I'm so much more insecure about. And I think it's because a couple things. Being charitable, first and foremost, I think if we're being nice, I think it's because, you know, because I'm assigned masculine, because I've lived most of my life feeling masculine, looking feminine and feeling feminine is much more crucial when I'm feeling feminine or identifying feminine, you know, because I kind of still see my default as masculine. So how well I pass as feminine or portray femininity is much more important to feeling comfortable or feeling feminine because there's still that kind of that baseline masculinity that's going on that I'm covering up, you know, or trying to pass. And it's like it's really rough, you know, because it's like there's a tied into this is the competition aspect is like it's really difficult because we'll get to that. But the other aspect and being less charitable is maybe this is revealing how I see men and women. Like maybe this is kind of a revealing thing that I care about my looks when I'm feminine a lot more than when I'm masculine. And so this is shining a light onto maybe an unsavory aspect of my character, but I don't think that's me in a vacuum. I think that's just our society in general places a greater emphasis on how women look than on how men look, you know? Um, and I think that unfortunately for women, men kind of have a cop out because men can grow beards, or at least some women can. Someone have, you know, follicle features and they have PCOS, or you know, some women are trans women that still have facial hair. I mean, but for like cis women, generally speaking, they can't grow beards. And growing beards is the schlubby guy superpower because if you have a weak jaw or you just are getting fat or whatever, you can cover that up. You can just grow a beard. And that's not makeup, that's just part of you. You can alter the shape of your face with just not shaving. And it's kind of a superpower, whereas women, because they don't generally have that, again, there are exceptions, it's really, you're just kind of out there, you know? And that's really kind of a weird trade-off, you know? But like I don't know. So maybe this says something about my view of people that's maybe not very charitable, but you know. And on top of that, I think there's definitely an aspect of other things in play, you know. But we'll see. Um, so yeah, I do think that there's other things going on. Um, But yeah, and I think that there's an aspect of competition to it and an aspect of irritation to it, you know, um, and that I didn't feel that I don't feel when I feel masculine or identify masculine is an aspect of like competition, um, and insecurity, you know, like when I'm identifying masculine, I don't compare myself. or feel jealous of porn stars. I don't look up, oh, what does James Dean look right now, who is kind of a gross person and isn't like an idol or anything, but like that's just the name I picked. But like with them feeling feminine, it's like in my head, all I can think of is like, oh, fuck, I know what like trans women who are porn stars look like, and I'll never look like that. Like, what the hell, And I'll just feel bad about myself, and I'll just use the exact worst possible comparison on how to draw because like, actors and especially porn actors are not realistic representations of people in most ways. At least not like the big ones aren't. So like I know that's really unhealthy, but more to the point is that I will just start comparing myself to random people I know on Facebook or just see. And it's gotten to the point where I've started blocking, not blocking, but unsubscribing friends because I can't stand looking at them because they're so pretty and it just makes me feel terrible. And I don't know what to do with that. It's so hard, especially if I see somebody who's like not even like not even on HRT or like not even on surgery and they just look so feminine and it's just I can't deal with it. It just makes me feel so garbage. It makes me feel like this was a doomed effort to begin with. And I just feel so bad about it. It's the worst. And I feel like, I don't know, I'm just so insecure and angry about it. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why I chose to let myself feel that way. And I just feel so defeated and drained, trying to feel good about things, but then just feeling this like so you'll never look like that and you can't look like that, so just give up. And it's an everyday, it feels like such a struggle sometimes. Not every day, because not every day I feel feminine or care about feeling feminine, but when I do, it can be rough. And so it's such a confusing phenomenon. It's such, well, why do I care? And I think what it comes down to is just what I still see as my default and what takes more effort. Like it would take less effort for me to just portray masculine than to portray feminine. And part of the problem is like, well, that doesn't necessarily make me happy. So like it's really hard. It's hard enough to figure out because basically it's hard enough to figure out what I want to do when I'm feeling like I can do whatever I want, but it's even impossibly harder to figure out what I want to do with my life when I feel like I'm being constrained because one, it feels like I'm being pushed in one direction, but then I also have to fight harder and push it in the other direction, so that swings my expectations wildly the other way. So it's like I I I hate this because it makes me so out of control and so unhappy and it's so weird. I can't and I don't know what to do about it because the healthy thing would be to get some perspective and talk to people. And I've heard a lot of people like I've talked to some people and they've like you have a very nice face, you can portray feminine very well, you know, accepting a few things. I don't feel that way at all. I feel and the other thing is like I'm such a mean person. I really am because my thoughts are always like, yeah, but I won't be as good as this person, or I wouldn't be as pretty as this person. And who cares if I'm okay? I want to be really pretty. It's like, and that's not healthy. It's really not. But it's like, why do I feel that way when I'm feminine? Why do I feel that competitive and that needy when I feel feminine, but not when I'm masculine? When I'm masculine, I don't feel that way? I don't know. And I guess also when I'm masculine, I don't feel constrained. I feel like when I'm feeling masculine, somebody can be like, wow, this guy is 5 years younger than you and he has so much more muscles than you. And I'm just like, Yeah, so, like, I'll get there, you know? I'll get there. But like when I'm feminine, somebody would be like, "You're an ugly bitch and you don't look like, I don't know, this trans woman who's gorgeous," and I will just cry and I won't ever be like, "I'll get there." No, I'll just want to give up. And I don't know why. I don't know why there's that hard divide, you know? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know why I feel so like trying to feel, like non-committally confident in my masculinity, but so critically afraid and unconfident in my femininity. And it's so weird, you know? I don't know. And I feel strongly at this point that I've made it that I feel strongly that if I'm trans, I'm the wrong kind of trans because I've been told that if I were actually trans, I wouldn't have a debate. I would just want to be a woman, and I would just like want to be a woman at the like it's the drop of a hat. I just want to do it. And so I feel bad because I feel like I'm just a confused weirdo. And maybe this is telling me something about that. I don't know. I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.